For me, I think the National Day and Independence means a lot to me because I was born in 1964, which is actually 1 year before the National Day, right? So I'm 60. I think this year Singapore is celebrating the 59th birthday. So for me, I always feel that my birth and the National Day is aligned, and it reminds me of how the nation has been growing, just like how I have been growing as a person. And I really hope that as we continue to see the nation prosper, we'll see the citizens prosper, not just for only a few people, but actually for everyone, that we are all raised up together.
The Independence Day definitely reminds us about the struggle, compromises, and the sacrifices that our nation leaders have gone through in achieving the freedom and then building up the nation.
Proud of Singapore because, as we all know, Singapore is a country with no resources, unlike many of our neighboring countries. And yet, with no resources, the only thing we have is people. And these people, I remember my parents all coming from the south of China, or even Malaysia, or even for some of you coming from different parts of Southeast Asia. Essentially, we are migrants. Essentially, we are both people. And yet, if you look at today, you cannot think of that humble beginning. And I believe that is because we all believe in one thing, which is that we'll continue to strive and we'll continue to do what is good for everyone. And when we do that, when we put heart, mind, and soul into what we do, we will be able to succeed. And today, looking at Singapore and looking at our own CLA Global TS, we can see the fruit of the labor of our forefathers who have started Singapore, especially Mr. Lee Kuan Yew and his team.
So India as a country has made its way to the top 5 global economy in last 77 years, starting almost from the scratch post-independence. We have made good strides in the areas of digitalization, particularly in government interfacing, private businesses, also in the areas of human resource development, as nearly in tech industry, in professional services industry, in education industry. India contributes to almost 25% of the global workforce. And we have lived successfully the life as an independent nation and as world's largest democracy for nearly 8 decades. So to me, these are successful achievements, and that is definitely that most of us as Indians need to be proud about.
If we are operating in a country that is not stable, it will be very, very difficult for many things. Every time when we go to work, we have to think of how safe our family are at home. We will not be able to put our heart and mind and soul towards working. But at the same time, if we are working in a country where it's very disconnected to the rest of the world, we will also not be able to do much. But in Singapore, we have both of these present. We have very stable government. We have a very safe country. At the same time, our communication, whether it's land, air, and sea, is so well connected. And for us as CLA Global TS, and for myself working here, I know that there is nothing that we need to be worried about in terms of having jobs and in terms of having business. What we need to worry about is how continue to transform ourselves so that we make Singapore relevant and make the company CLA Global TS relevant, and also make myself relevant, so that as we come together, we'll be able to create opportunity for our people in CLA Global TS, for our clients in CLA Global TS, and for the community and the nations that we are in, Singapore.
So in the background, Sanjot, just to give a perspective, we have completed 5 years as a professional services firm in India, with more than 20 partners, with more than 350 people in India, with 5 offices in India. So it really means for me living for the core purpose of creating a respectable Indian professional services institution. And to me, it also means living on a daily basis for the core mission and motto of exemplifying talent and amplifying value.
So I want to wish every Singaporean a happy National Day, and to wish our colleagues in India a happy Independence Day.
Wishing all our friends and colleagues in India a happy Independence Day as well.
Wishing all Singaporeans a happy National Day, and to our friends in India a happy Independence Day.
A happy National Day to Singapore, and also for our friends and family at CLA Indus Value Consulting celebrating Independence Day. This is a very special time for us because although we are all from different countries and we also just met in terms of knowing one another for less than a year, but we already know that we are one big family under CLA Global. So we pray and ask that as we continue to do this, that we will be able to help one another to create opportunities for one another, to create opportunities for our people, to create opportunities for our mutual client, and to create opportunities for our mutual community. Thank you.